What's going on, guys? Welcome again to another video of Unknown Destiny Fabrication. Today the task is pretty simple, pretty easy. I'm going to show you today, as I showed you yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, or if you guys didn't see the video. I'll show you now. But pretty much what we have here is an AEM fuel rail, and I have to modify it. I have to do this AEM fitting. It's not big enough for what he wants it, so he wants it to be installed here and welded on straight onto the fuel rail. So what's going to end up happening is this needs to come out pretty much. And the way I already took out one of the pins, as you can see there, but what I ended up doing was the fuel rail had two little screws here. I didn't really know how to take it off, but I could imagine just by looking at it on the other side, has two holes that obviously match up with the bottom where I took out the screws. I said, well, it should just have pins because this doesn't come out. Like, it didn't want to come out. Like, we actually tried. So the owner told me it just pulled out, and I thought it had like an O-ring or something, maybe holding it, friction holding it or something. But pulled it out, and as you can see, we kind of bent the fuel rail a little bit, and actually bent the fitting here and the ear. And so I said, well, it's not coming out. That means it has to have some kind of pins or something, which it did. I already took one of them off. And pretty much to show you what I did was I brought some pins, some picks, 3 different ones, and that didn't work. They only went down only a certain amount. So I got some filler wire, stainless. So what I did, I actually poked one through and it came out. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Pretty much just try to, actually, sorry, it goes the other way around. I poke it from the small side. I don't know if, see if it's this one. Yep, sure enough, there goes the pin. And this should now just come right off. Yep, it still has O-rings. Alright, so this is pretty much what's going on. There is that hole. So I see a couple things going on here. Since this has these the holes for the pins, right there, it goes all the way through. I'm not sure that that's gonna seal. I don't think that's gonna seal all the fuel from going through. So what I want to do, and it's already sitting flush, so what I'm gonna end up having to do is I'm gonna take these out because I don't know what's under here. I gotta take them off anyway because whenever I weld, it'll probably just melt off. But anyway, I gotta take this off, see what's under there. Hopefully no O-rings. But I'm probably gonna end up welding those little holes shut, grinding everything down smooth, weld these holes shut on this other side, do the same thing, grind everything down smooth, weld this bung all the way around. I'm pretty happy that it already fits kind of flush, so it should be nice and easy. Not sure if this is just aluminum or anodized silver or something like that, so I'm going to go ahead and clean everything out. Obviously, I'm going to take that O-ring from the inside and take that out, and so it doesn't really melt. You don't really need an O-ring anymore since we're doing an AEM fittings straight on there, and that's it. That should be it. So let's get ready. Let's get everything cleaned up, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, so plan B. I think what I decided to do now is actually I'm gonna weld on the inside here. It should be fairly easy since it's just on the edge, but on the inside part, I'm gonna weld that groove that goes right through it. That way fuel doesn't get out, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. You see the groove right there. And that's it. So let's get ready for that. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is heating it up with a butane torch just to get all the grease and oil and all the impurities out of there. Clean it up really good with acetone afterwards. Obviously let it cool off just a little bit, and let it and then heat it up with acetone. Still, I'm probably gonna end up wire brushing the outside of this just to clean it up good enough to where it'll weld, and then and that's it. So let's get to it. All right, so I'm actually pretty glad I took the tape off where it had that blue tape at, because right here where the injector little cups, so they have O-rings and everything. I'm not sure. I'm guessing they're maybe made out of billet or something, but I didn't know if they were plastic or whatever. So, but they do have an O-ring, so I'm pretty glad. Pretty happy about my decision of taking the tape off and seeing what was under there. So always investigate everything when you're working with it. If it has tape, I didn't know if he didn't want to damage the part, or if he just didn't want to. I'm not sure if he was hiding something behind, not hiding, but covering something behind there or whatever. I always take it off because, one, especially if you're welding on it, it's good. The whole part is gonna get really hot. So all I did was heat up that hole just right here on that edge. It's still warm, so yeah, it's pretty hot still. But all I did was heat up in there to pretty much burn off all the impurities or whatever, and clean off all the coating. I don't know if it's painted or if it's anodized or whatever coating it was on there, paint or whatever. It was pretty thin, so I was able to get it all off. But heated everything off and let it cool off for a little bit. Wipe it down with acetone and go ahead and weld the grooves. So as I suspected, it wasn't going to be a clean weld. This is, I know it's machine and whatever, but it's been used. It has a lot of impurities and stuff. I did clean it with acetone, but it did weld both sides. I don't know if you can see that. Not too horrible, not the best either. So this is what I'm gonna do here, where it clearly heated up quite a bit. I am going to clean that up with a die grinder, both sides. This one got a lot hotter since the part was already pretty hot. And then I'm gonna clean up the inside a little bit so the fitting will actually fall in there pretty straight. I gotta clean up the top. As you can see, it's kind of protruding. It's kind of raised up a little bit on that corner, on this side right here. So clean that with a die grinder, sit the fitting in, weld it all the way around, and see what it looks like then. So stay tuned. All right, so one of the things I wanted to touch on was that after I cleaned it up, it has the whole bunch of stuff, and I ground down some aluminum back so the fitting will fall in there nice and square, nice and flat. So now you have a whole bunch of stuff in there, a whole bunch of debris, maybe in those grooves in there or something like that. So what you want to do is get that clean, super clean, as clean as you can before you do any welding. You don't want the possibility of, once you weld this on there, having some debris stuck inside one of those grooves, and that car, the engine could malfunction, could blow up, could do something, whatever, just because you didn't take your time and clean the part out. Granted, the customer could do some more cleaning, but there's no telling if you could, clean it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no cleaning enough of this stuff. I mean, you clean it, once you think you got it clean, then clean it some more. I mean, it's just super dirty, soot and dirt, and see, I flicked it and a whole bunch of metal aluminum shavings came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out with acetone, clean it out with a blower as much as I can, and then go ahead and weld the fitting onto it. All right, and just like that, The fitting is welded all the way around. I already wire brushed it. Oh, I missed a spot, I guess. I wasn't looking back there. But yeah, pretty much welded all the way around. Pretty good weld. Everything's covered. Let me see if I could focus. There we go. You can see a little bit better. All the way around. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for subscribing, those that have. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification. Geez, I always have a hard time with that word, man. Notification bell, so you can get the updated videos, the newer videos that are coming out. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. All the new subscribers and those that continue as subscribers. I really appreciate all your support. Stay tuned for the next one, which will probably be tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. And always, God bless.